Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The program will begin momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The program will begin momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Stephen Reed, Mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, and First Vice President of the African American Mayors Association.
Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see so many of you all here. I see we're missing a few faces though. All right, Mayor Dickens is still trying to figure out what the Falcons were doing last night in their NFL draft, so he's not here. We understand that. But he told us now to pace ourselves in the A. So if you don't see a mayor and you know they're still here, tell them you miss them. And then tell them to come on down here to the breakfast. We are very, very excited to be with you today, and thank you for staying with us. Those who have not been, this is your first day, thank you for joining. Those who are watching online, thank you for joining as well. I certainly want to offer my greetings to all of our mayors, business council members, attendees, and the amazing staff and crew that have put together this wonderful week of events. As you scroll X, Facebook, and Instagram feeds today, be sure to share and repost the stories you see about the AAMA, AMA 2024 conference. Somebody asked me, what is AMA? I said, African American Mayors Association. So we take for granted that everybody knows all of our acronyms, but please share these stories. You can find AMA on X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Our Mayors. And if you're taking the stage during one of the meal events or during the town hall on Saturday, we are live streaming these events to our YouTube channel. Be sure to let your networks know. And lastly, don't forget to include hashtag AMA10 in all of your posts. We can't wait to share them as well. Now, we've almost made it to the last day of the African American Mayors Association's 10th annual conference, Striving Forward, Our Moment, Our Mission. I've served as the first vice president of AMA for the past year. I'd like to thank President Sean Patterson Howard and the Mount Vernon team for all their support and unwavering dedication to AMA this year. Thank you, Phyllis, for your leadership of the AMA team, and thank you to all the staff as well. We also want to say thank you for not only supporting AMA and strengthening our foundation, but encouraging others to join as well. It truly is through word of mouth is the best form of marketing. This conference would not be possible without all of you, and it does not go unnoticed. During my first term as first vice president, I've been particularly heartened by the relationships we have built with the Biden-Harris administration through numerous working groups, events, and continuous resources. I would also like to highlight the increase in Black mayors that have joined AMA from across this country and the significant increases in mayoral engagement with more than 100 plus member mayors in the new year. We continue, yes. We continue to make strides in serving and representing Black elected officials at the local level. AMA has also increased fundraising efforts with over $1 million in new sponsorships from new partners like many of you, and an increased number of sponsorship levels from partners who have supported us from day one. We are truly thankful. It's been a pivotal year of AMA's success, and we could not be here without you. I believe the strength of this, coupled with our efforts in tandem with the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the American Rescue Plan Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act, are just some examples of the power of AMA to empower and champion what is right by the American people. I would also add the CHIPS Act in there as well. We couldn't do any of this work we do without our Business Council partners. Our partners truly amplify the work that we do across the country, and we're grateful for your support. As we continue, please make sure you engage with us. Please make sure that we are giving you what you need, and we will ask you how we can help even more. It truly is a reciprocal relationship. We want this to be something that you get out of working with us, and that we learn from you in the private sector how we can improve our cities and communities. I will take my seat at this time, and I look forward to joining you in just a few minutes. Thank you and good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Reverend Maisha Handy, Interim President of the Interdenominational Theological Seminary in Atlanta, Georgia.
Good morning. What a joy and a blessing it is to be here. I invite you to join me in a word of prayer. Gracious and loving God, we thank you so much for this beautiful day in Atlanta, where we have gathered to celebrate the African American Mayors Association. God, we pray for our mayors all across this country, that you will continue to grant them guidance and wisdom and insight as they lead. God, we know it's not easy being a leader, and it certainly is not easy being a mayor. And so we ask your special blessings on them, that they might have wisdom as they lead with justice and with equity and with insight. Bless the food that we're about to receive, and bless those that prepared it. May it provide nourishment and strength for our bodies. Again, we thank you for this great city, and we thank you for this great nation. Bless all of us under the sound of my voice, that we might have the support, the love, and the care that we need to do the job. We thank you, we give you praise, and we pray in your mighty and matchless name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of the United States Department of Transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Secretary of the United States Department of Transportation.
Good morning. All right, that's good energy for the breakfast session. Thank you so much for the chance to be here. We are having a great visit to Atlanta and a great week, and I'm so pleased to be able to spend some time this morning with the membership and leadership of AMA. I want to recognize President and Mayor Shawn Patterson Howard, from whom I have learned a great deal, not just about her community, but about the opportunities facing mayors across America. I want to recognize Mayor Stephen Reed and congratulate him on being soon to take the reins. Your treasurer, Mayor Wayne Messam, good to be reunited. Your CEO, Phyllis Dickerson, everybody on the AMA leadership and staff. And on this 10th anniversary, I want to make sure to recognize the founding members I had the honor of visiting with, and some of your founding members and past members that I have the pleasure of working with in this administration, including Alvin Brown and Steve Benjamin, who are with us here today. And I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge Secretary Anthony Foxx, who can't be here today, but who, as a predecessor and somebody who I learned a great deal from, has really shaped American transportation. And I think it's no accident that his wisdom was informed by his time as mayor of Charlotte. We are having a fantastic week. Monday, we broke ground on the Brightline West that'll introduce high-speed rail to America with operations in service while Joe Biden is president. We celebrated on Wednesday the release of a rule that means that when you fly on an airline in America and you get canceled, you get your money back. Yesterday, we were with Mayor Dickens celebrating the extraordinary work going on at Concourse D, and today we have so much to talk about here at AMA. Well, I'm always finding it's the highlight of my week to be among America's mayors. Back when I was a mayor, I believed that our salvation in American politics and policy would come from the local level. Back when I was mayor, I believed the most crucial level in government affecting people's everyday life was the local level. Back when I was in local government, I believed that to be true. And now that I'm in federal government, I know that to be true. So we measure our success in terms of how much we are helping you get your jobs done in America's cities and towns. And I know the job of mayor has only become more difficult and demanding since I wore that title proudly in the last decade. Though it really would have been nice back when I was mayor of South Bend if there was a president with $1 trillion infrastructure bill to help us get stuff built. And I think one of the reasons why President Biden filled his cabinet and White House with mayors and former mayors, including some of America's leading black mayors like Keisha Lance Bottoms and Marcia Fudge and Steve Benjamin and Alvin Brown and others, is that our president understands that a good measure of how we're doing as an administration is whether we are making it easier for you to get things done. Mayors have been providing critical leadership, not just on self-evidently local issues like fixing roads and delivering housing solutions, but on national and even global issues like inclusive economic growth, racial justice, and climate change. Put simply, you deliver because you have to. And the Biden-Harris administration is delivering on ways to help you and your communities thrive, including making sure that we deliver a great deal of that funding and support directly to cities. So, as the African American Mayors Association celebrates your 10-year anniversary and as our administration works with you to deliver on the promise of the infrastructure package, I want to paint a little bit of a picture of what we're seeing across the country. I do miss being mayor, but one of the reasons I love this job is the opportunity to see these different pieces taking shape across America and to see how they fit into a big picture. Earlier this month, I was in Birmingham with Mayor Woodfin, seeing the historic Black Main Street that had thrived for generations until the construction of I-65. And then that decision to convert 4th Avenue to one-way whisking drivers through the city and into the suburbs, isolated that main street and created physical barriers that still divide people, that decreased foot traffic for small Black-owned businesses. But we were there for a joyful celebration of an award to build the city's vision to restore and reconnect Fourth Avenue back to its original design for better prosperity and safety and a restored sense of place. That was just one project from a round of $3.3 billion that we delivered to over 100 cities of all sizes, to use federal funds to reconnect communities that were divided by past federal dollars. We're partnering with Mayor Woodards of Tacoma, Mayor Jones of St. Louis, Mayor Lumumba of Jackson, Mayor Ramos Herbert of New Rochelle, and Mayor Dickens right here in Atlanta, and more for your terrific Reconnecting Communities visions that we've been so proud to support. We've also been able to work with mayors in this room on an issue that hits home for everyone, but disproportionately affects communities of color, and that is roadway safety. So we're working with Mayor Lyles of Charlotte, Mayor Stoney in Richmond, and more, partnering with you on our new Safe Streets for All program. To take Charlotte as just one example, we are helping to implement Vision Zero strategies to make the roads safer through better street design for drivers and safer access for people outside vehicles. Well-lit crosswalks, connected sidewalks, buffered bike lanes, and more. We're finally seeing traffic fatalities just start to come down over the last 7 quarters, but this remains very much a crisis at 40,000 deaths a year. Part of how you might think about it is this: the 1% reduction that we saw last year in roadway deaths means 400 people did not lose their lives. It's enough people to fill 2 or 3 737 airliners. So what are we going to do together about the next 99%? And we know that Black families are disproportionately affected by these deaths. Something that's also true when it comes to the harms of pollution and climate change. So we're doing something about that too. We're advancing environmental justice in a number of areas, but I want to mention just one: pollution in ports. At the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, with the support of Mayors Bass and Richardson, we're helping build a new roadway and bridge over the port's rail line so that trucks can move more efficiently. It's going to reduce trucking delays by almost 2,500 truck hours a day. That helps our supply chains, but it also means cleaner air for so many people who live in that area. And of course, our work on transportation is not just about addressing harms or reducing risks. It's also increasing access to jobs and opportunities. Across the country, we're making the biggest investment in public transit in U.S. history, and the biggest investment in rail since Amtrak was created in the first place. And again, we are teaming up with you to do it. With Mayor Evans in Rochester, we're helping procure hydrogen fuel cell buses that'll improve the reliability and experience of riders. With Mayor Cantrell and partners across 3 states, we're restoring passenger rail service between New Orleans, Mississippi, and Mobile for the first time since Hurricane Katrina. In northern Indiana, Mayor Melton is about to welcome the opening of a second train track, which will increase speed, frequency, and reliability for commuters from northern Indiana to Chicago. I believe we have Michigan City in the house here as well. I'm excited about that one. And we've taken major steps with our discretionary grants and financing authorities to support new housing developments near transit. I know what you're up against when it comes to the affordable housing challenge, and I believe that transportation can help provide some of the solutions. Those are just some of the projects we have underway. We've got 50,000 projects and counting. And what all of them have in common is not one of those 50,000 projects was actually cooked up at the U.S. Department of Transportation headquarters in Washington, D.C. Every single one of them came from a local or state or county or regional project sponsor. It's not just what we do, though. It's how we do it. I want to take a moment to talk about that. It matters how we do this work and who gets to be a part of it. Earlier this month, we announced the final rule to finally modernize our disadvantaged business enterprise and airport concession DBE programs. We're proud of this work. It is going to cut through red tape so businesses can maximize their potential and so the projects can tap into a greater network of talent. Just yesterday, when I was with Mayor Dickens, we were meeting some of the businesses and workers helping to deliver that new concourse that we're contributing to at the airport here in Atlanta. In fact, Atlanta is one of the best places in the country to talk about the power of DBEs, because the airport's construction itself under Mayor Maynard Jackson in the 1970s, with the insistence on inclusion in that project, was instrumental to how Atlanta's strong black middle class was built. So we've talked about investments, we've talked about our rulemaking authority. I also want you to know that this administration will be with you when the unexpected hits your community. I've been spending a lot of time lately with Mayor Scott, and I want to take a moment to recognize his leadership helping Baltimore through this incredibly difficult moment. We salute Mayor Scott's heart and his focus. He is leading Baltimore forward. And as President Biden has promised, we will be with you every step of the way. One other note on how we're doing things. And I will take care to put this diplomatically. But as a former mayor, I know that sometimes cities do not find that states are on the same page. Was that diplomatic? So I want you to know that we are engaging states to be the best possible partners for their local communities. And also, for very good reasons and by design, many of our programs invite cities to come directly to us for support and for funding. And that will continue. If you do find you're running into roadblocks or red tape with any other level of government, including ours, please reach out to us. In addition to our new structured hands-on partnerships to help communities apply for and deliver projects through our Thriving Communities program, where we're working with North Miami and Mayor DeSolmi, Selma and Mayor Perkins Jr., East Orange and Mayor Green and more, we also have a range of other technical assistance tools for you, because you're doing the most important thing that government does, which is deliver results for people. And I need your help with the second most important thing you can do, which is telling the story, loudly and proudly and in creative ways, to reach people who are not always watching the evening news. It's not just about showing people where their tax dollars are going, it's showing that democracy still delivers. Because after years of not seeing Washington come through for people, after years of seeing transportation projects pass them by completely or be done to them rather than with them, I know why people have become skeptical over recent decades. So it matters that now, in this moment, we show people how government can work for them. When we do that right, we're not just building roads and bridges and trains and airports, we are building trust. And you are critical to that. I want to end by just recognizing one more thing about your job as mayors. You know this, but sometimes the media misses this. You are not just the policymaker for your city. When you serve as a mayor, your city becomes part of you. You rise and fall with the ups and downs of your city. And when your city is hurting, your heart hurts. And because you are a living, walking symbol of what your diverse residents all have in common, responsible for keeping them together, you feel every pressure and every division that pulls at that unity. You don't just read it in news clips, you feel it in your bones, and it takes a toll, and it pulls on you, and it weighs on you. I want you to know that we recognize and salute your leadership. I want to remind you that the other side of that pressure is that your strength becomes a city's strength. That when you are disciplined, a whole community runs more smoothly. That when you are creative and ambitious on behalf of your city, a whole community sees itself in a different light. When you expand your heart and open your mind to take in all of the pride and pain of an entire city, not only do you grow, but that whole city takes on your best personal qualities. Leading a city is an extraordinary duty and a profound calling. So know that I pray for your wisdom and strength because so much depends on it. And because so much depends on you, I want you to know that you can always depend on us. This department, this administration, and your president, we will be here for you every day and every step of the way. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for the chance to address you this morning. And thank you for the work we're all going to do together. It's an honor to be with you. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kevin Keene, CEO of the American Beverage Association.
Good morning. That was quite a party last night, so pretty impressive. The room's starting to fill up. And hope your teams did well in the draft. I'm a Vikings fan. I think I'm happy, but we'll see. But thank you for having us today, and more importantly, thank you for allowing us to be your partner in a lot of the hard work that you are doing. If you don't mind, I'd like to start by thanking some mayors who have been very important on this journey with our association. I want to thank Phyllis Dickerson for her leadership at AMA and helping to pull us in and get us engaged, and her terrific team. But also need to thank Mayor Sylvester Turner, who really led us on this journey to working with you. And so, Mayor, we are grateful to you, not just for your service to your great city, but to helping us get engaged. And this is a little homerism, but I also have to thank a couple mayors who are special to us and have been giving us their wise counsel for more than a decade now, including, Atlanta's very own Mayor Franklin, who you honored last night, and she is just a blessing to us, as well as Mayor Webb, who you honored last night. And he's really shy, and he left, but Mayor Doug Palmer also has been part of the Mayor's Council for us in helping us to make sure we're engaged the proper way and truly are helping to make a difference with you. And I just want to start by acknowledging somewhat the obvious, but want you to understand how much we appreciate this. You really do have very difficult jobs, especially today in these moments that we're going through. I come out of government, and you always have your challenges in government, but I don't know if I remember a time where things are so challenging, particularly for mayors and in the cities. And we really do appreciate the hard work you do. And it's why we want to be good, strong partners and help where we can. Our industry is the non-alcoholic beverage industry. So Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Keurig Dr. Pepper, Niagara, Red Bull, those are some of our bigger members. And as you can imagine, they touch every community across this country. They're present there. They're providing jobs, I would say very good paying jobs, family supporting jobs, jobs that you don't need a college education, but can have a great career in those jobs and support your family. And so we live there in your communities, we work in your communities, we pray and play in your communities, and we want them to be healthy communities and sustainable communities. And so we thank you for your work, and this is why we've entered into this partnership with AMA. And thank you for allowing us to do that. So I'm just going to get right into it. We're here to show our partnership with some financial help to certain cities. So I'm excited about this part of the program. In 2022, we announced a partnership between AMA and our association to support programmatic efforts by mayors like you in closing the gap in disparities in nutrition, access, affordability, and education. So I'm very proud to be here today to announce the second round of winners who will receive grants, which together will total $600,000. So without further ado, I'm thrilled to announce the 2024 winners of the Nutrition Access, Affordability, and Education Grant Program. Starting with the small city category, the two winning cities will each receive a $75,000 grant. And those cities are North Miami, Florida, and Mount Vernon, New York. So instead of me talking, let's see what's happening in the Sunshine State under the leadership of Mayor Alex DeSalume with a video that we have.
I'm the mayor of the great city of North Miami, a city I grew up in. We are one of the most diverse cities in the entire state of Florida. We have a very vibrant Caribbean community as well as Haitian American community. So we have a lot of Haitian restaurant, Jamaican restaurant, Italian restaurant, you name it, we have it in North Miami. Thousands of visitors come in and visit Mocha Museum, as well as Enchanted Forest, another hidden gem in North Miami. Before I got elected, food insecurity was a huge issue. There are several factors that cause food insecurity in North Miami. What plays a major role is lack of transportation. Most of the grocery stores, they located strategically on the east side of the city, closer to the bay, to wealth, to tourism, where folks on the west side, if they do not have transportation, does not have access, and especially healthy food when we talk about access to fresh produce.
The NOMI Food Program was launched in 2019. It was the vision of our mayor, Alex DeSalume, who at that point was our District 4 councilman. As a result of the need for healthy eating in our community, individuals are going to buy what they can afford. And there was obesity because we did not have healthy choices. That's why this program is needed. We're feeding folks door to door. We provide delivery to seniors that don't have the ability to come out and pick up the food on their own. We're going to have rice. We're definitely going to have canned goods, perishable items, fruits and vegetables in every basket. And this program will allow us to do is to provide additional fruit and vegetables that we don't have the capacity to do because we don't have the storage and we don't have a freezer to maintain them. When you can provide additional grants, it allows us to enhance our services and provide best quality fruit and vegetables in our deliveries on a regular basis.
It's over 700 families that we are serving. This grant will help us to serve more families and put more food on the table. We'll have a direct impact on the families here in North Miami, and overall improving the quality of life of all residents.
Please join me in congratulating Mayor DeSalume.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Indeed, it's an incredible honor for me to accept the Small City Nutritious Access, Affordability, and Education Grant on behalf of my city. This award is a testament of the commitment to combat food insecurity by implementing critical initiatives such as the NOMI Food Pantry, the first and the only government-run pantry in the state of Florida. In Florida, nutritious food is becoming increasingly difficult, with a significant portion of our population struggling to keep up with the high rising cost of food. However, with this grant, the NOMI Food Pantry, based in a critical area of our city, will set to expand our reach and impact. We will enhance our educational program on nutritious and healthy eating, empowering our community by making informed choices and well-being. This significant choice step for a healthy and more North Miami. The NOMI Food Pantry has grown significantly since its inception. In fact, since COVID, we have grown from 350 families serving over 750 families monthly. This demonstrates the vital role in our community of the pantry. I am so proud of the progress we have made in collective effort addressing this need. I want to thank a heartfelt thank and gratitude to the American Foundation for a Healthy America, and of course, AMA, and everyone who have made this grant possible. Your support and belief in our cause made a significant change, and together we'll have a much more healthier America in North Miami. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for all you do. And now we need to obviously show what Mayor Patterson Howard is doing in Mount Vernon, New York. So let's take a look at the video of her community.
My Mount Vernon is an amazing city. Within our 4 square miles, the passion, the diversity, and the welcoming atmosphere makes it stand out. We probably have more churches per square mile than any city in the country. Memorial Stadium, where people of all ages come for arts events, football games. The Dole Center, which is one of our recreation centers where our kids and our seniors are. We have a railroad that separates our city into north and south. Everything was built and created north of the railroad tracks, where your bankers and your Wall Street people lived. On the north side, we have our supermarkets, restaurants. On the south side, you have densely populated community, and you have people who are lower income earners. 30% of our population is food insecure. That's why nutrition programming is very, very important for us.
In 2016, our current mayor, Shawn Patterson Howard, was actually the commissioner for the planning department. She brought forth the initiative, and we actually made an agreement with Feeding Westchester for the pantry program that we now have. 3 times a month, we get fresh fruits and vegetables delivered at site, and we deliver that to the community. We'll go to the local events that we have going on in the city, particularly in the Department of Recreation, and have conversations and discussions with them, educating them on how the decisions that they make can impact their prediabetes, diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. The beauty of this grant is that it's going to allow us to mobilize our efforts. We want to be able to go have cooking demonstrations on someone's block. On top of that, we're going to be able to actually expand our storage. We won't have to turn down opportunities to get more resources for the citizens and be able to maybe take this program from a 3-day a week to a 5-day a week. The city of Mount Vernon, we're missing 3 million meals a year. Anything that we can do to reduce that number is a win for the city.
The grant will allow us to expand the physical activity offerings and will help to subsidize the cost of instructors and allow us to offer exercise classes to more of our residents who need it most. We want to make the healthy choice the easy choice in the city of Mount Vernon.
Please join us in congratulating and welcoming Mayor Patterson Howard.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the City of Mount Vernon, we truly want to thank the American Beverage Association, the Foundation, and AMA for supporting the City of Mount Vernon in our Healthy Food Initiative. Affordability, access, education are all critical. We have to ensure that not only because of we're providing access, but we have to ensure also that we're educating them and teaching them how to cook healthy meals. We have to get to a place across the country where diabetes and hypertension are no longer giving terms of endearment like sugar and pressure. We have to get our communities to understand that these are diseases, not rites of passage. And so just because 2 or 3 generations suffered from sugar and pressure doesn't mean that our children have to do the same. So thank you so much. We are just excited to be able to serve people through our fresh food and produce program, our mobile pantries, our home delivered meals, our food recovery programs, and to ensure that they have physical activity for all. Thank you so much, and continue to do this great work because our country needs it. God bless.
Next, we have the mid-sized city category, where we also have 2 winning cities, with each receiving a $125,000 grant. I'm a proud Virginian. I live in Virginia, though I was born in Chicago, but live in Virginia now. So Mayor LeVar Stoney of Richmond, Virginia, is a winner of one of the grants, along with Mayor Frank Scott of Little Rock, Arkansas. So, yep, congratulations. Let's first take a look at the great work happening in Richmond, Virginia, led by Mayor Stoney.
I've lived in Richmond for 20 years, and I've seen Richmond evolve, change. Folks come here because we are a great place for recreation, dining, and also history. Richmond is growing, but despite all this growth, we still have our challenges with poverty. Unfortunately, Richmond has a number of food deserts where people can't access nutritional foods because of lack of grocery stores or just grocery options in general. How do we close the gaps between those who are struggling, living around the poverty line, and those who are above the poverty line? And we know that our kids are right there at the foundational level. How do we ensure that our kids can dream again? And that's been the focus of my administration from day one.
At Fit for Kids, we work with the kids and their families, and we try to do nutrition education. And so we really try to get kids outside in experiential learning, so they have their hands digging in the soil, feeling leaves, planting seeds. We're really trying to engage with schools to provide all of those different opportunities. We do physical activity programs after school, and our Learning Garden program is a big component of that.
This grant from the American Beverage Foundation for Healthy America and AMA will allow for kids to start identifying fruits and vegetables at an early age. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the great equalizer. You can bring that back to your family, and then it just spreads like wildfire within the home.
With this grant, we are so excited. We are going to reach 29 Title I schools and 2,500 kids.
This opportunity right here allows us to make investments at an early age. Nothing gets done alone in a place like Richmond or anywhere. You gotta have strong partnerships, and that's exactly what we have with Fit for Kids.
Well, Mayor Stoney could not be with us today, but as a Virginian, I know the road to Richmond, so we will make sure that he gets his award. So again, thank you to Mayor Stoney. Now, and I have to admit, I'm very pleased with this next award because we believe we have a special relationship with Little Rock in our association. We work with them on many initiatives, including our Balanced Calories initiative. And Mayor Scott has been just a terrific leader, not only for his community, but beyond. And we always appreciate the opportunity to partner and support Mayor Scott in his work. So let's take a moment to look at his video.
Little Rock is an amazing city. It's a historic city. It's a city profoundly produced by its people. And as we look through our history of the Little Rock Nine to having our own president of these United States of America, we're a hidden gem. We're a city that you truly can see yourself reflected. And within that, we have growth. We understand what the word equity means. We said that the city was going to put our money where our mouth was by truly getting engaged within the Little Rock School District by having a strategic partnership. And so what that entails is now the community school model, which focuses on our most at-risk youth. When you're thinking about a parent who is not able to meet his or her basic needs, how do you survive? What do you have to sacrifice? And then that sacrifice may be the difference between a healthy meal and a quick meal. And a quick meal may not always be a healthy meal. It's just something to tide his or her child through the night.
At Chico, we started our program back in 2021. The community school model is a national model. It's focused on 4 pillars, which include integrated student support, schools as neighborhood hubs, collaborative leadership, and enhanced learning opportunities. Luckily, the City of Little Rock presented us with an opportunity to work with Farm Corps, which is an AmeriCorps state program, and they were able to build our school garden and do some education work with our students. And then later on, we've been able to partner with Food Corps, which is also an AmeriCorps program that provides full-time garden and nutrition education to our students, and they also take care of our garden. Having this grant, we'll be able to continue to have Food Corps at our school. We'll also be able to offer cooking classes for another round of families, and those 2 things are really crucial in taking this work to the next level, but also providing sustainability for having a long-term farm-to-school plan.
The American Beverage Foundation for Healthy America's grant is truly exciting for the city of Little Rock to receive. We know it's going to have an impact, and we're really going to see the results from it.
Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Mayor Scott.
Good morning. On behalf of the City of Little Rock, our city board, and our many team members who've played a role in this process, we share our appreciation to the American Beverage Foundation, to the African American Mayors Association, and to the selection committee. We here in Little Rock firmly believe that every child deserves and is ordained to have the right to the necessary resources to thrive, to ensure that they reach their true potential. And you cannot reach for something if you're not full with an appetite. Every child does not change or decide who their parents are. They can't control what school they go into, but we all have a duty and a right to ensure that they have the resources that when they get inside their schoolhouse, that they have the needs met so they can learn and reach their true potential. We say that, and we're grateful for our efforts that we've done in the City of Little Rock with our Food Desert Task Force, our Food Commission, and in a state that's deeply rooted in agriculture, we know that school gardens help us all educate the reason why. Because Lord knows, we know there's certain foods that we should not be eating, should not be consuming, and the long-lasting effects of that. And we want to teach our children now so they have the resources, that they reach their true potential, and that they're ready to take on the world. Thank you.
And now, on to the final 2024 winner. In the large city category, the winner is the City of Baltimore, led by Mayor Brandon Scott. And we're very pleased to provide Baltimore Mayor Scott with a $200,000 grant to support his work and initiative in his great city. So let's learn a little bit more about Mayor Scott's work.
Baltimore is the greatest city in America because of its people. That's why we're known as Charm City. The people that have come through Baltimore, from Thurgood Marshall to Elijah Cummings, the home of the national anthem. We have great black-owned restaurants like Darker Than Blue. The best crab cakes in the world are at Coco's Pub. You have every spectrum here in the city of Baltimore. You have very high earners, and then you have folks who are struggling. And that's kind of what pushed me into service. Any issue that is plaguing our city, it has to all be taken back to its core. We know that's a result of systematic racism and policies that were implemented in the past. Baltimore is the birthplace of redlining. It's very important for cities to target things like nutrition access, especially because if you're in a city where you have that kind of history, we have to step in.
Our produce box distribution programs connect Baltimore City residents to healthy, affordable, fresh produce. We had partnered with over 100 community organizations to help us distribute over 8,000 boxes per week. The residents who benefit from our program live in what we like to call healthy food priority areas. And what's really exciting about our program is that we do offer culturally competent recipes that complement what is inside of the boxes.
Public-private partnerships are important because no government, no private entity, no religious and faith organization can solve these issues on its own. So everyone coming together is the only way that you're going to tackle tough problems. The grant from the American Beverage Foundation for a Healthy America will help us because this will allow programs to continue into Baltimore and continue to meet the need of Baltimoreans who, one, love their healthy produce boxes, but two, also with the rising cost of inflation on food, and particularly produce and healthy food. This will allow those individuals to still be able to eat the right way, but also continue to provide the other things that their families need. So we're very grateful.
Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Mayor Scott.
Good morning, everybody. Y'all can do better than that. They told me this was a DEI mayor conference. Good morning, everybody. All right. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate you all, but more importantly, to celebrate the amazing work that is happening in my city. When you saw that corner with the liquor store, that's literally where I grew up. The house I grew up is right next door. And this will allow us to continue some great work in the city of Baltimore. We have been, since 2020, we have distributed over 1.5 million produce boxes, equaling over 197 million servings of fruits and vegetables. And this grant from ARMA and the American Beverage Foundation for a Healthy America will help us expand that work. The program scale would not be possible without that kind of investment, but more importantly, the partnership of 100 community organizations and our vendor, the Common Market. These funds that we're receiving from this grant will go directly to those 32 community organizations that we've been working with to distribute food to people where they need it across our city. They will use it for nutrition education workshops, stipends for volunteers, cold storage tents, and heaters for inclement weather, and transportation to deliver boxes directly to our older adults. But we don't just stop there and with this grant. Because of our blessing that we received from our President Joe Biden of ARPA, we've invested $11 million to build a more equitable and resilient food system in Baltimore City. When I came into office, I said I wanted to lay the groundwork to begin overcoming the decades of intentional disinvestment that many neighborhoods in my city face. And projects like these are central to that work. So thank you for helping us continue to make that work possible and for feeding Baltimoreans that are suffering from food insecurity. So thank you very much. And we are very blessed to receive this grant. We will put it to good use. Thank you.
Well, again, congratulations, Mayor Scott. And I know it's already been said today, and you've heard it so many times, but just know that the whole country is with you in your city right now as you're dealing with the bridge collapse and recovering from that. But anybody who knows Baltimore knows that they are strong and tough and are going to get through this stronger than before. So wish you the best. So in closing, I just want to once again congratulate all of today's winning cities. More importantly, thank you for the work you're doing. You saw today just some of the work being done in cities, the innovative work that address tough, challenging issues in the communities that help everybody in that community grow and thrive and strive. And we're honored to be a small part of that work and hope to continue this partnership going forward. So just want to close by again thanking the African American Mayors Association, Phyllis and her whole team, and just say God bless you and your cities and the work you're doing to improve the lives of the people in your communities. So thank you for that. And now I believe Mayor Reed is going to come up and join me, and I think I'm going to take some questions, and hopefully they're not hard ones.
Good morning again. Good to see you. Good to have Kevin Keene with us from American Beverage Association, President and CEO. I think anytime we get a chance to speak with leaders of associations and groups such as this, it's a great opportunity for us as an association, as leaders all across this country. So we have a few minutes to talk about things that are happening in the beverage industry and the positions that you all are taking, and just maybe ways that we can collaborate and partner together as mayors.
Well, thank you for that, Mayor. There's several ways that we're trying to make a difference in your communities. And I think, sometimes we forget to talk about this as an industry. A lot of it starts with the jobs, and the jobs that we're providing directly in the communities, as well as the jobs we help support in the communities, whether it's helping grocery stores thrive, restaurants thrive, others who sell our products thrive. And so there's 272,000 jobs that we provide directly, and those jobs are really strong paying, family supporting jobs, as I said before. A lot of them are union jobs. And they're the type of jobs that people don't leave. That's why we kind of want to start calling them careers, because they really are jobs people, they don't need to have a college education. They might, but they don't need that, and can come and get a job and, you know, make a life out of that. So we want to make sure people understand that contribution. And then, you know, we're doing things to give back too. So, you know, this grant program was just a small way we're trying to help you all do your work. But collectively, when you look at all of our bottlers and all of our companies, they give out $2.5 billion in charitable contributions to communities across the country, just trying to make sure their communities are growing and thriving, as we've been talking about. So that's all important. But we also have to take on some of the tough challenges that we're a part of. And part of that is we talk about health and ways to reduce sugar and access to sugar. And so one of the things our industry has been doing with our Balanced Calories initiative, which we worked with the Clinton Foundation and so many mayors, Mayor Scott, I mentioned earlier in Little Rock, what that's really designed to do is our companies are providing more choices that have zero sugar in them. So you're seeing hopefully the zero sugar sodas, but there's a lot more to that. There's the new waters that are coming to the market. There's the zero-calorie sports drinks. There's the zero-calorie teas that are coming to the market. So it's a great array of choices. In fact, due to these choices, we have actually, the sales of beverages with zero sugar now account for 60% of the sales of our products in stores. And that's due to 600 brands that our industry now offers with zero sugar. Now, the challenge there, and we're proud of that, and you've been great at challenging us on this, how do we make sure that gets down to all the communities across the country? And it's not just in, you know, suburban America, for example, but it's making its way down. And that's what our Balanced Calories initiative is designed to do, is to make sure we're bringing that down. And need to hear from you when we need to do better. Sure. And as you've done for us, and appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. Now, we talked about sugar, and we talked about the healthy aspects that you all have been incorporating and marketing. Now let's talk about pollution. Pollution is a major question that we as mayors face quite a bit. And the question becomes, how is the association working to better improve plastic bottles, how we process those, how we dispose of those beverages, and how can we communicate to our residents why they should feel comfortable about buying beverages out of plastic bottles, and we're seeing bans in certain parts of the country and in certain places around plastics.
Right. Thank you for that question, because it's one we've been working hard on, again, because that's a challenge. Look, we make a liquid product. We have to put it in a container, and we put them in several containers, you know, plastic, glass, aluminum. But with our plastic, which we know is where the greatest concern lies, our companies have turned to innovation again. They've worked hard, first and foremost, to make sure that those plastic bottles are 100% recyclable. So they're not like other single-use plastics out there. This is a bottle that has great value. If we get it back, we can take that bottle and turn it into a new bottle that uses zero virgin plastic. So you're reducing the amount of virgin plastic you're using, and you're also helping to keep the material out of nature and out of the environment. And we call this initiative our Every Bottle Back initiative. And it's, you know, I have a couple props if you don't mind, but sure. The proof point is hitting the marketplace now, and hopefully you're seeing this, but these products made out of 100% recycled plastic are now in the marketplace. This is a Gatorade water bottle. No virgin plastic in this bottle. It's all 100% recycled plastic. And so that's reduced, that's one proof point. And then here, you know, Dasani's putting it right on the front, that it's made out of 100% recycled plastic. So we hope you take that into consideration. And, you know, we're also investing in getting the material back, so helping to invest in recycling infrastructure. Mayor Scott, we had a grant with him in Baltimore again to put carts on the street for the city of Baltimore, recycling carts. So we're doing things like that to make sure we're putting, you know, real skin in the game and trying to get the material back and not just waiting for others to do it.
That's great. Now, food insecurity, nutrition access, and affordability are increasingly affecting many of our residents. Your foundation's grant program that we just highlighted is one way that your industry is having an impact. How else is the beverage industry having an impact on these issues?
Yeah, I mean, food insecurity is, you know, it's a huge challenge. You know, it just shouldn't happen in a country like ours. So these grants help support you in the work you're doing, but our companies are also doing their own work. Supporting, you know, free school lunch programs, making sure that, you know, I know several of our companies provide, you know, after school meals and after school snacks to schools in their community. So they're rolling up their sleeve and working with their communities to see how they can help fill some gaps themselves as individual companies. And so those are just some of the examples of how we're doing more than just giving out grants to support you, but we're rolling up our own sleeves and doing some of that hard work.
Fantastic. A short while ago, you announced this year's grant winners, supported partnership with the Beverage Industries Foundation. This was the second year of the program, and you've now granted over $1 million to Black mayors across the country. Why should those in the audience, yes, thank you. $1 million is significant for all of us. I don't care what size your budget is. Why should those in the audience apply for the Nutrition Access, Affordability, and Education Grant Program?
Well, hopefully it's a way to help with a very special and particular program and initiative that the mayors are looking to do in their community. Maybe it's not something that your council might normally support, or you've got higher priorities. These are big priorities, obviously, for the mayor, but, you know, you got to, you know, do the mayor things like fill the potholes and build the roads and things like that too. So hopefully you view these as grants that can help you with a specific project and provide some resources.
That's great. I think it's something that mayors that are here and those that are not able to be present with us today, but we'll learn about it, would be very interested in. I want to go back to a topic that you brought up, and I want to make sure we hone in on this. How are we ensuring that our communities have access to many low and zero sugar options your companies are making available? Because again, I think that's one of the big pushes that we hear in our respective communities. How can we make sure those options actually get out to the people in the communities who might not have as easy access as you and I?
Right. So that's part of the strategies of our companies. They're really dedicated and focused on making sure that those beverages hit, you know, the aisles where you do your shopping in those communities. And that can be a challenge, right? Some of those stores have limited shelf space and people have limited dollars. So when they want to spend their dollar, they want to make sure they're buying something they're going to like. And so first of all, making sure that the zero sugar beverages we're providing taste good, because taste is king, and we get that. So we have to make sure it tastes good. But we also have to help them try it. And so our companies are doing things to try to not just get them on the shelves, work with the stores to get them on the shelves, but incentivize people to give it a try. So that helps the grocer. You know, if they're buying it, that helps the grocer keep it on the shelf. So we're really, and it's hard work, so I don't want to oversimplify that we've got this thing solved yet. I think we're going in a good direction, but we have more work to do on that front. And are committed to work with mayors like you. And as I said, Mayor Reed's been great in giving us counsel and telling us, hey, you know, you got to look at this a little closer. And Montgomery is one of the cities that we're working with on our Beverage Calories Initiative too, as well as Little Rock. So we appreciate everything you've helped us there.
Well, thank you. I've only been great because I listened to Mayor Shirley Franklin which I have no option, and mayors like Sylvester Turner and others who have told us what to do since we got here. So we had the elders in our ear telling us what play to run, so we listened to the call. Thank you so much for being with us, Kevin. We really appreciate your support, Obama.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and appreciate you allowing us to be your partner.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
When we talk about community, it's really part of our job.
It feels great to know that at all levels of the company that we're looking to give back.
It's all of us. We are a family, and we're excited to be part of something bigger.
On a day that we're actually supposed to be at work, we're out here working, feeding, helping people that are in need.
That's what I live for outside of work, to make these kind of connections and offer hope.
Whether it's someone from our team or someone from our community, we just want them to know that they can call on us.
We are your next door neighbor. We are your peer or your friend.
We work here. We raise our families here and we worship here.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator from California, LaFonza Butler.
Good morning. Mayor Scott reminded us that we were the DEI Mayors Conference, and so I'm going to try that one more time. Good morning. He didn't tell us, he didn't remind us what the updated definition of DEI, duly elected incumbents. And it's great to be in a room of duly elected incumbents. Thank you all for having me. I see one of California's mayors, former mayors and first president, I believe, of this organization 10 years ago in its founding, Mayor Kevin Johnson. Please give him a round of applause. And if there are any other California mayors, note in the room that haven't, it's still 7:30 for us, so it's a little bit more early. But if there are other California mayors in the room, know that your United States Senator sees you and is here to cheer for you. Join me in appreciating one more time Phyllis Dickerson, because all of us know, and I will be the first one to say that I am on this stage in this room at this very moment because Phyllis asked me to. I have never served as a mayor. I don't know what it's like to walk in your shoes, to be responsible for the lives on a day-to-day basis. But when a leader like Phyllis shows up and offers an invitation to be a part of the work that she is doing, we all come to attention. She has been a friend in so many ways, and I just want to appreciate her in this moment for the invitation and for her leadership. Also thanking Mayor Sean Patterson Howard for her leadership as president of this organization. And Mayor Reed, congratulations again to you and your leadership. 50 years ago, this city celebrated the inauguration of Maynard Jackson as its mayor. And you are here in this city celebrating a 10-year anniversary of this organization on the anniversary of 50 years of him being in the mayor's office here in Atlanta, and what a difference his leadership has made. And I think it is a testament and truly fitting that this organization is here in this city under the leadership of Mayor Dickens in this moment where you are, again, truly showing the difference that mayors make across the country. So in recognizing our history, we are also creating and writing our own future and the future chapters for those that you all serve. I am intent on not being in front of you long. I heard a heck of a party from last night, and I know that you have a lot more work to do this afternoon, as this is the final day of the conference, and there are those who need to get back for emergencies. I just wanted to be here to say thank you. There are those of us who sit in Washington, D.C. with no real connection to what is required on a day-to-day basis to impact the lives of everyday people. In Washington, I have come to appreciate that there is an intellectual understanding in so many ways of what it takes to run a city. But there are very few senators, members of Congress, cabinet secretaries, leaders who are supporting the administration who've actually been in your seat. And knowing what it takes and doing what it takes, two different things. And so I wanted to come by and truly say thank you for helping our cities to meet what is an incredible moment, recovering from a once-in-a-generation global pandemic, facing some of the largest headwinds of homelessness and lack of affordable housing that our communities have ever seen. We just spent the last 30 minutes learning about the food insecurities that our communities are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. We talked a little bit about the challenges of climate change and inclement weather disasters that are striking our communities at a pace that we have never imagined. We talk every day about wildfires and insurance companies that are withdrawing from whole states and cities. And each and every day, you all put on your dress or your jeans, your loafers or your sneakers. You do the work each and every day to help meet those moments. Yes, it is wonderful to be a mayor when you have the kind of investments and commitments in our cities and states like President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and the members of Congress who have helped to pass historic legislation. Yes, it's great to have those kinds of resources available to you. And when you are walking the streets of your cities, your communities every single day, nobody knows what the CHIPS Act is. They want to know what their mayor is doing to make sure that they have a minimum wage that they can feed their families on. When you are walking in the grocery store yourselves, nobody knows what the Inflation Reduction Act is. They want to know that their mayor is doing everything that he or she can do to bring the price of eggs and the price of bread down in their communities. When you are going to church on Sunday, nobody knows what the American Recovery Act is. But they know, what they want to know is, where is the next opportunity that I'm going to be able to get my kid or my grandmother a vaccine shot to make sure that he or she is kept safe. And so while there are lots of acronyms and big bills and lots of incredibly important investment that is happening and being funded by those of us in Washington, it is our mayors who every day make the impossible possible for ordinary people. And we all owe you a debt of gratitude. And I will end my remarks with this. I was saying to Mayor Scott that for 7 years, I actually lived in Baltimore. I lived on Winans Way, just 3 houses down from a former mayor of Baltimore. and around the corner from another former mayor, both prior to Mayor Scott's leadership. But when I lived in Baltimore, my family and I, we went to Empowerment Temple, Mayor Scott. And Jamal Harrison Bryant was the pastor of Empowerment Temple at the time. He now is here in Atlanta at New Birth. But we, every Sunday, we would hear Reverend Bryant say, "You're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing." And at the time, and in that context, it was a life-affirming message for where we were choosing to be in the city of Baltimore, doing the work that we were doing, working in the labor movement. And it was difficult to assess whether or not we were truly there at the right time. I would have loved to have had Mayor Scott as my mayor as when I was in Baltimore, but nevertheless, it goes without saying, it is often quite thankless for the work that all of you do as mayors. In all of the difficulty you face, but also in all of the triumph that you encounter. There's not often, those reaffirming words. And so I end by just offering what Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant offered me, even in those difficult days when there is not an answer to the question, when you know that there is more that your city council and your office can or should be doing, and you are pressing as hard as you possibly can. Just know that there are those of us who believe to our core that you indeed are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Thank you, Amma, for inviting me.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who have not met me yet, I'm Phyllis Dickerson, the CEO of AMA. I just have some quick closing remarks, housekeeping rules to get you ready for the rest of the day. We're almost done. But I need to ask you one more favor. We have a couple of Innovation Center sessions going on right after this. The first two start at 11 to 11:30. I need you to look at your neighbor and say, "Phyllis needs you to do a favor." She needs you to show up on M2 section, which is 2 floors down, to the Innovation Center. The first one will be on Black Wealth Data Center, understanding the economic well-being of cities, a data-driven approach. And the second one will be Microsoft LinkedIn's future of work with AI. The second sessions will be at 11:45 to 12:15, and I need you to pick one of the two also. That will be Radcliffe Premium Meats, feeding your community one bite at a time. And Kimberly Radcliffe is actually a Black female cattle rancher. So you need to go meet Kimberly. She has done an amazing job. And then the Fund 2 Foundation will be the other one, striving forward, building your workforce with Intern XL. Lastly, remember, 11 to 11:30, pick one of the two, sit there, listen, take something back to your city. Even if you're not a mayor, take something back to your mayor to say, you know what, I came to AMA and I found this out, and get some contact information. The second sessions will be from 11:45 to 12:15. Lastly, Damon John left books. They're out front at where the mayor's registered. If you want extra books, they're available. And we have a few more Coke bottles. Feel free to take some back to you, to your family and friends. The closing reception tonight will be from 6 to 8 at the Georgia Aquarium. You could take off your high-heeled shoes. You could take off your dresses, put on your jeans, put on your city paraphernalia, your work paraphernalia, your Greek paraphernalia, whatever you brought, bring it, and we're going to have a great time. We invited the students from Clark Atlanta, the Divine Nine from their institution. Lastly, for those of you who are going to Tyler Perry Studios tomorrow, make sure that you look in your email, because by noon today, you should have submitted a form, a permission form, a release form. So look in your email. If you don't have it, come see the staff to make sure you send it in. And then, for those of you who are going to Tyler Perry Studio and you're going to take that 6 o'clock flight out, you can bring your luggage with you. And then you can take the Uber from Tyler Perry Studios. And last but not least, tomorrow morning, all mayors from 9 to 10, you'll start breakfast over at Morehouse for the town hall meeting. Mayor Andre Dickens asked us to be available to the public, and we want to show up. So we'll have 2 panel discussions on the campus of Morehouse. The buses will start running about 8:30. At 9 o'clock, mayors, from 9 to 10, you'll have breakfast on campus. And at 10 o'clock sharp, the sessions will start. They'll be live on live stream, and the media will be on hand. So please be on time and show up. And then last but not least, today is Justin Bibbs' birthday. He turned a big 37 years old. So when you see the mayor from Cleveland, I said, Justin finally turned 37. So when you see Justin today, make sure that you tell him happy birthday. And again, 11 o'clock in the Innovation Center. If I don't see you, you know I'm gonna call you and be like, where are you? All right? You don't wanna be on Phyllis's bad side, right? So have a great day, take some pictures, and remember, #AMA2024. Thank you.
Hello.